No, he's not answering now. What's up, everybody? Comical cranksters. This Billy Rech guy said he's willing to debate me. Said I'm full of hate. I'm a right-wing lunatic. I hate my fellow countrymen, and I'm everything that's wrong with Americans. He said he was on. He said he's ready to debate me. He's over in Czechoslovakia, I think. Let's see. If I understand this right. I'm on and ready, piggy chaser. I'm on and ready, piggy chaser. Do it face to face so I can see you sweat like a pig, the pig chaser you are. So he said he's going to debate me. He said he would do it live. He kept saying he wouldn't do it over the phone because that's too 1980s, even though phone interviews happen all the time on the radio. Yeah, why aren't you answering, Billy? Let me ask him. Tried calling you. Thought you were ready. That's at least 4 or 5 people now said they would debate me, and then they never do it. They never show it. They find a reason. I can't talk on the phone. I can't do it this way. It has to be that way. Hit the thumbs up, guys. What do you say? You want to see? Do it face to face so I can see you sweat like the pig chaser you are. Self-righteous American with no class. You are what's wrong with America. Don't you have a cop to chase? Your 250,000 subscribers would have been sad when I owned your ass on a telephone call, stupid emoji face. This is what you deal with when you deal with... I don't deal with terrorists. You had your chance to interview me and blew it. What are you talking about, dude? You just kept complaining that you couldn't make a phone call because it was too 80s of you. So, Billy Rech, I'm on and I'm ready, piggy chaser. Let's try calling you yet again. Let's see if you're on and you're ready. They're all internet tough guys.
You don't know why, say goodbye, I say hello.
Billy.
Bro.
You ready?
Are we going to do it face to face?
You really want to see me?
Do I really want to see you face to face?
Sure.
Have a conversation? Yeah.
All right, here you go. I'll turn my video on.
I don't know why you worry. Sweet, let's do this.
Hello?
Hold on a second. Let me get that contract. What's no, that's right. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. We follow rules, yes. We follow rules. And the rules are not, and that's Sunday.
I guess he's got to put his kids to bed real quick.
Sorry, I was dealing with 6-year-old and no iPad Sunday.
I heard you.
Such a horrible father, right?
I doubt that.
Okay. Let's clear something up real.
Go ahead.
That's how it's going to be that time.
What? What do you mean? What happened?
I didn't see it. What did you say? I doubt that.
I doubt that you're a bad father, is what I said.
I thought you said I'm a horrible father. You said they cut out. All right, you're good. All right, let's clear something up. I'll have a conversation with you, but like like the cop thing bothers me a lot.
Why?
Like I can't.
What do you mean by that?
How that,
what is it that bothers you?
because you're instigating that. Well, I'm trying to tell you.
Your video is breaking
It
up.
instigates an issue that doesn't need.
All right.
It instigates an issue that doesn't need to be an issue.
Hold on a second, because the video is...
Like, I'm okay with you. I'm okay.
Can we just go to audio?
Let me switch to my computer. That'll be better. Oh, sure. That's what you want.
I mean, just to get better sound.
How's that?
As long as we're not breaking up. I mean, I don't care if you look at me. I'm not that nice to look at. But, so, when you say...
I read people's statements real well.
You can go on my live stream and look at my face as much as you want.
All right, here. Is it better now?
The audio seems a little better, yeah. So when you say the cop thing, what do you mean by that?
I don't appreciate you instigating somebody from doing their job.
So you believe
I watched three of your videos, right? The one where you got pulled over at the airport,
right?
The one where you got pulled over on the highway,
right?
And the one with the sinkhole, the one that I think actually caused you legal issues. So those three videos I watched start to finish because I wanted to give you a fair shake at what you're talking about with all your viewership. So I did. And basically, here's what bothers me about it. The sinkhole one, the only thing that was bothering me was like, what, why do you have to sit there and film them? Why can't you allow them just to do their job and go on their merry way? Why does it have to always be something?
Why? Well, first of all, I was acting as media, so that was going on in my neighborhood, and I'm filming what the police are doing in my neighborhood. Why would that be an issue to a person who swore to protect that right?
But what were they doing that was so bad that had you so angry where you wanted to film it and
I wasn't filming because I was angry. I was filming because I was trying to film and build my channel. I was trying to get down to the media staging area that they directed me to. And then they eventually didn't let me go there, which is a violation of federal law, 42 USC 1983. And they wouldn't let me go to my house without surrendering my Fourth Amendment right. You're telling me that's not something an American should be angry about?
No, at all.
Oh, so Americans should not be angry when their Bill of Rights are violated.
Yeah, okay. If your Bill of Rights are violated, if your rights are violated in a real situation, cool. But what was, you were just trying to get to your house?
First, I was trying to...
One was it?
I'm sorry?
There's two different versions.
Say that again?
So was it going to the meeting? Was it going to the thing or going to your house?
It was both.
See them say, hey,
it was both.
You don't live here? But if they're saying you don't live here, we need to see an ID so that way we can let you through, so to keep it safe and to keep the crowds out. I'm okay with that. What's wrong with hey, you know what? I live over here.
Because that's not how the law is written.
Show me that you live there and go on your merry way.
But that's not the law. I don't want cops knowing where I live.
Sure, the law's written ways.
I'm sorry?
Okay, well, that's your choice.
Why can't the cops just follow the law? Why not just follow the law?
Why can't you be a humble citizen and say, hey, they're actually here to protect and serve me. Here's my ID. I'm going home. See you later.
How are they protecting and serving me?
Why does it always have to be a fight?
Well, how? Because they weren't protecting and serving me.
Why does it always have to be a fight?
I'm going to answer you. They weren't protecting and serving me or anyone else there. They impeded my freedom, my travel, and then they requested that I surrender my information. That is not their job. That is not what they're hired to do, and that's not how the law is written. Why can't they just follow the law?
Okay, so it's at the beginning of the video.
Yeah.
You showed them like asking people like that? Do you live here? Is that what there was? It was like a police checkpoint?
I went to the store, and on my way back, they had cordoned off my whole neighborhood and demanded that people surrender their information in order to get to their own home. My neighbor was pissed off too because he has a disabled mother there. They could have prevented him from getting there. They caused more harm than good. Military situation instead of a sinkhole. Again, you don't know most of the facts, and you're taking things out of context. Yeah. You would think they were looking for John Dillinger the way they came to the neighborhood.
Okay, but it out of public safety for them to make sure that nobody got hurt, correct?
That's the narrative, but it's nonsense, and anyone with any common sense and two brain cells to rub together can see what they're doing. It's theater. It's a sinkhole. They let the media within 50 feet of the sinkhole. This is where I fundamentally disagree with you. Is you say it's theater and that they have all of these. I proved it.
Their narratives don't fit their act.
Well, I proved it.
And your Bill of Rights are being violated.
I proved it.
Have you ever stood back and just listened to your philosophy of law and your philosophy of life? That all you really want is to cause issue for viewership. That's
nonsense. I've been doing. See, that's the thing, Billy. You're assuming something. I've been doing this before the internet even started. So you just made a false claim about me again. You've been doing that all day. That's not true. What you just said.
I don't think that's true.
What's not?
Okay, so you can pull over, and instead of rolling down your window and being about cool everything, you make sure that you stick to the law just to rub it in their face. True or false?
So your problem is that I follow the law. Is that what I'm understanding?
That you can never just be human.
So you're saying I'm not human because I learn the laws and know them better than the police know them. So I'm not a human because of that.
What I'm saying, I'm not saying that you're not a human. I'm saying that you don't act like with human civility with that. So instead of saying, when you got pulled over, when you got pulled over by the cop on the highway, I agreed with you that, his command was like, hey, pull over for safety, which you totally agree with. Everybody agrees with that, right? Because it was he wanted you to drive a little bit further to take a right, and then he gave you attitude that you went too far. Okay, fine, that was a miscommunication.
The traffic cop didn't know what an intersection was. That's right. Go on. So then the other video I watched was the airport one. And you refused to roll down your window instead of just. And why is there? I'm sorry. And why do you have a problem with that when it's the law?
Because there's some civility that you should have.
Okay, so you believe it's so let me understand this. You believe guys with guns enforcing victimless crimes under threat of duress and coercion is American civility, but me knowing my rights and the laws is I'm the uncivil one because I want to follow the law the way it's written. I'm the issue.
They have enough pressure on them? Kind of, yes. In my opinion, you are the issue.
I'm the issue because they stopped me and I know the laws that they didn't bother to learn in their profession. I'm the problem.
No, I think they know the law, but
no, they don't.
Some respect that you don't give anybody.
No, cops who lie to me, cops who enforce victimless laws and police for profit, they don't get respect. I don't know why you would respect that. There's no better than a common criminal. Who's the plaintiff in the case of speeding?
You.
I'm the plaintiff? I thought I was the defendant.
The police officer. Sorry.
The police, sir, the police, with all due respect, Billy, he's the witness. The police officer is the witness. There is no plaintiff. So there's no accuser to face. So the whole thing's unconstitutional. The cop and the judge, and when there is a prosecutor, they all work together against you. They all work for the state, who's supposedly the plaintiff that never shows up. The whole thing is a racket. It's racketeering on its face. The reason everyone thinks I'm the problem is because I see it for what it is. And you see it as John's not acting like everybody else, so John's the problem. Because he went and actually read the laws that the cops don't read.
here's how many laws on the book that you don't follow. And then you choose to follow that pertain that you want to follow in the way it rests under for somebody else.
I do it under protest.
More than anything, people like I know this. Here's what I'm worried about. And truthfully, like, you seem like a good guy. I think you're a really good American patriot. I believe that about you. Okay?
You weren't saying that earlier.
Of course not. It was Facebook. Of course I'm going to talk to you.
Oh, okay. See, to me, I try to stay legitimate all the way around. It doesn't matter what platform I'm on.
No, man, you talk to me face to face, you're going to get a different person than on Facebook. Facebook's fun to me. It's not. It shouldn't be real or whatever. It's Facebook.
So let me ask you, man. Do you believe? Let me ask you. Do you believe in victimless crimes, and do you believe threats of violence should be used to enforce crimes with no plaintiff?
I've never, in my experience, in the 15 years that I lived in America before I moved out, I never had a problem. When I got pulled over, I gave him my victim, whether I was right or wrong. Even sometimes.
That's why you never had a problem.
You know what would happen? Hey, thanks for being honest. Have a nice day.
Yeah, if you
Never paid a fine?
If you give them respect they don't deserve, and you accept your freedom being impeded for a victimless crime when you weren't doing anything to anybody, freedom is the number one thing America's supposed to be about, right?
It's not showing that right now, is it, though?
It's not showing that, period, especially, and I hate to say it, guys like you throwing the narrative that I'm the bad guy because I know freedom and I know how to fight for freedom. I'm the good guy here, dude.
What happens when you're speeding and you crash into somebody and kill somebody?
Then there's a victim.
It's a victim crime?
Yeah.
You're not okay with that?
I'm sorry?
But you don't. But just because you're when you could prevent that death from happening, if you could prevent that death from that speeding accident, would you yes or no?
If I had the magic powers, yeah, but they don't, and they don't prevent it, and the stats prove it. It's for revenue. Come on, dude.
Well,
let's be honest with ourselves.
I don't agree with that. I think there's some public safety things that you don't acknowledge.
Okay, so
statistics show.
I'm sorry.
But yet, statistics show seatbelts save lives, and
sure,
there's people out there who will say, well, seatbelts don't matter.
No, well, I think I don't wear a seat. Listen, I don't wear a seatbelt. I don't wear a seatbelt, but it's definitely a good idea to wear a seatbelt. But what's not good is somebody with a gun telling me I have to wear a seatbelt or else they're going to impede my freedom. And if I don't pay their extortion fee, then they're going to put me in a cage. That's my issue. That's my issue with Michael Frank. That's my issue with any so-called American who believes in victimless crimes. You're literally asking for your own slavery.
Your philosophy of law and mind boggles me.
I don't know why it boggles you, because it sounds like too much freedom.
Different strokes for different.
Yeah. Think about
I know, man. Living in China, I had so much freedom. I wish you.
Right. I got you. Were you allowed to have a gun there?
You can't even ask somebody to wear a mask.
Were you allowed to have a gun in China?
You could if you wanted to, if you petitioned for it.
You had to ask for permission?
If you want it, you can have it. You had to file petitions, but yeah.
So you needed permission there to get a gun to defend yourself. China also has
like that there.
one-child policies too, right?
Not anymore. Gone.
Nonetheless.
And you want to know why?
Yeah.
Wait. You want to know why?
Yeah.
Because they saw the population decline, saw that their statement of one-child policy wasn't working for their population, and so they changed it. Just like a normal country would. Hey, if the law's not working, maybe you should change it. Right?
Yeah, except we're a republic here in the United States, and there's inalienable rights that regardless of how many people don't want me to have a gun, they can't do nothing about it. unless the majority of states are along with
Oh,
it.
that's right.
Right. Certain rights, it should be next to impossible to change. And that's the whole point. And that's what I'm getting at. And the way Mike and some of you guys talk, that the government should be allowed to do X, Y, and Z and force everybody to do X, Y, and Z, BS, because you're literally condoning violence against peaceful people. You should be able to live your life. And as long as you're not hurting anybody, damaging property, endangering the public, you should be a free person.
I didn't find any of your videos peaceful, though.
Which one wasn't?
You just because you talked calm doesn't mean that you're not combative.
Yeah, I'm verbally combative. There's no doubt about it. I'm protesting. That's the First Amendment. That's what it's meant for.
That's what mind boggles me is you would rather waste 45 minutes and have all these people come there and make a big deal out of it instead of just giving your deed and going on your way.
Extortion letter, guns impeding my freedom, pay their salary. How about everybody acts like me and that stuff goes down the toilet the next day? Why isn't that the answer instead of me acting like everybody else?
Because we're a peaceful society in the way that you acted.
If you look at the video, the overwhelming majority of people are on my side. What the cops are doing in that video is literally theft. It's racketeering and extortion by the roadside. I wasn't doing anything to anybody. I wasn't being unsafe. They had no reason to impede an American's freedom, whether it's me or anybody else. And like I said, victimless laws are unconstitutional. The Constitution says you can face your accuser in court. Why don't I what?
What? Okay, so here's my next question. So what do you think the police department should do? Just go away?
No, they should enforce crimes where there's victims. Crimes where there's victims. Victims, damages, endangerment, murder, rape, the things that don't make them money. There's a reason they do the stuff they're doing on the roads. It brings in between 3 and 7 billion a year, and then the insurance company give them about the same amount of money in radar guns and blah blah blah, because it's a giant racketeering scheme. The judges are in on it, they're in on it, everyone's in on it. But again, John's the bad guy for not just going along with it. Think about what you're saying there.
No, I think you're lacking the human spirit and keeping other people on the road. Here's what happens.
Who was I endangering?
Let me explain. Well, I don't know. Maybe
no one.
You could be lying on film saying you're only going 54.
Let's say I was going 70. Let's say I was doing 70. And no one.
I don't know. Did you fly past the family in a minivan?
No. I wasn't even speeding. That's the whole point. You know, radar guns are like 40% off.
This is where I fundamentally disagree with you.
Go ahead.
I believe in crime prevention.
Oh, pre-crime. Pre-crime.
I believe that. No, whether it's through education. Right. We can prevent crimes through education.
What kind of crime are you talking about?
Does it matter?
It absolutely matters. You talking about victimless crimes or legitimate crimes or victimless crimes?
No, I don't know. Both. Let's just go both. And I'll give you an example of both. Okay. So let's say we teach in schools. We teach what consent actually means to consent. That it doesn't matter if a woman said no before. You know, like you went to go for a kiss and she said no, and then you did it anyways. That's rape. Even if it's just a kiss, that without consent, that's rape. Okay, whether you agree that there has to be a sexual connotation to that or not, consent is important. We can teach consent in schools to get people to understand what consent actually means by law. Okay, that's prevention of a victim crime. Right?
You're saying prevention through education? Well, that crime has a victim.
and I just said that was my example of a crime.
Okay, that one makes sense.
And we can. Okay, cool. So now let's look at speeding.
Yeah.
That's the one that me and you, I think, disagree with.
Well.
So while you might not think, hey, speeding is a victimless crime,
Mm-hmm.
there is prevention that, hey, there's speed limits for a reason, and things because proven on those roads going certain speed limits, damages can be lessened. People can be not killed if the speed limit is set to 45, right? Or if it's a speed limit of 25 and you're going 50,
Mm-hmm.
the likelihood of you hurting somebody in an accident goes up. So we can prevent that by having law enforcement do radar and keep those areas where the speed limit's low. All of a sudden, your community benefits by having less deaths or less accidents on the road.
So why hasn't that worked then? So why hasn't it worked all these decades? There's still speeders. There's still wrecks.
They work pretty well, don't they? And they're pretty.
What works?
They're sure.
What works? I'm sorry.
Like look at a school zone. School zones work pretty well, don't they?
The majority of the reason it works is because people have the common sense to drive safely. It's not because there's a guy with a gun there.
I don't think people have common sense at all.
You don't believe what?
I don't think people have common sense at all.
So
I don't think people have common sense at all.
your rationale is safety, and government uses that rationale to get away with a lot of tyranny. So your safety thing now, does that mean the constitutional requirement of a plaintiff is gone?
I don't know. I have to look that up.
You have the right to face your accuser. I mean, everyone knows that pretty much.
I'm not going to answer something that.
No, I got you.
Sure.
But you've heard of.
You go to court if the cop.
You broke up there.
Time that I went to court, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. The one time I went to court for a speeding ticket, right?
Uh-huh.
Cop didn't show, and the judge is, hey, you're good to go. Have a nice day.
Yeah. So you wasted your time, and then the cop doesn't get punished for not showing up, right?
Well, I'm sure he had something better to do, or more important than deal with some little 18-year-old who was speeding.
Oh,
okay with that.
It was important enough for him to impede your freedom and threaten to steal your money, but it's not important enough for him to show up, even though he took time out of your day. See, again, you're valuing them over yourself and us. They're the servants, not us.
I don't think of it as a servant thing. I think
they are the servants.
Educational and societal norms.
Dude, your time is more valuable than the cops. Your time is more valuable than the cops' time. And the fact that he made you do it doesn't have the nerve to even show up should be offensive to you. You're not offended by that. You think his time is more valuable than yours? If his time was valuable, he would go after crimes where there's victims. So what? He was working when he tried to extort you too.
If he was working, sure, but maybe he was.
Again, you're making excuses. You're making excuses for the guys that are committing the tyranny on the streets. They swore to uphold the Bill of Rights. They hate the Bill of Rights. You don't think what?
I don't agree with that at all.
So when they see a cameraman, which they
trying to do their job, man.
Their job is not to violate people's rights. You understand that, right?
Sure.
Okay.
I believe the cops are just like you and me trying to do their job the best that they can.
My job doesn't involve threats, duress, and coercion.
But I've never been threatened.
Yes, you are.
They've all been very kind to me.
What are you talking about? When the lights go on, even though you haven't done anything to anybody, that is a threat that if you don't stop, they're going to use force against you. Just because they don't implicitly say it out loud, it's a threat. Try driving away and being a free person and see if it's not a threat. You got to come to reality, dude.
Why can't I do that? I'm a kind of upholding law citizen.
Well, they're stopping you because you're a criminal. They're stopping you because they're saying you're a criminal. Your freedom being impeded is a normal thing. People should accept it, be happy about it, and be happy when their money gets stolen, sometimes even up to a week's pay, for not doing anything to anybody, for there not being any damages, no victims, no plaintiffs, no nothing. You think that's a legitimate system, and I'm the bad guy for not wanting to be a part of that.
Well, I think that's a loaded question a little bit, but
did I say anything not true?
You're an upstanding citizen, and I don't know.
I've never been arrested.
Philosophy about the way.
I've never been arrested. I don't chase cops around like you kept claiming. They come to me. I'm in my own neighborhood. I'm in my own vehicle, trying to work, doing nothing to no one. It's them coming to you. It's them impeding your freedom. I'm not bothering them. Only after they started with me and started stalking my wife and going to businesses that I go to and trying to stir all kinds of things up and coming to my house a couple times that I started going back. And I have the right to go film. Why would they have a problem with that when they swore to protect that right? Why would any American have a problem with somebody recording?
But I don't know, maybe because there's 1,000 other things better to do than recording a police officer.
Says who?
Let's start there.
Says who? Is that your opinion, or is that some?
Isn't that boring to you? Wouldn't you rather go watch a police?
The goal.
Like I just said, wouldn't you? Isn't there 1,000 better things for you to do?
Than to defend freedom. Than to defend freedom and expose tyranny.
Oh my God.
I enjoy it. Oh my God, what?
Oh, you should. If that's your passion, then go for it, man.
What do you think's better? What do you think's better to do? Like, what do you think is better? Watching football? What are you into?
I don't know. Take a walk in the woods.
I do that. I go foraging for mushrooms.
You name it. I would rather do any of that. But what you just said earlier.
What?
I'm gonna say this respectfully, and I hope you understand that I'm saying this with love and all that.
Go ahead.
Your actions by filming police officers would put your family in danger. True.
I'm sorry, it puts my family in danger?
And you said that they've harassed your wife, that they've come into your house when your child's there, right?
I did not say that, no. Yes, they stalked my wife, yes.
They stalked your wife, and they also came into your house.
No.
They came to your house.
Yes.
Okay, so by your actions of filming, you've actually put your family in danger as well.
Oh, my lawful actions have put me in danger of the people who are supposed to protect my actions. Am I understanding that?
Yeah, because we both. I think we would both agree that there are some shitty cops out there.
Some.
Who probably. Some. I don't think all apples are bad, man.
Hey, when you don't take the bad apples out of the bushel, the whole bushel goes bad.
Sometimes, but you could choose not to film the cops and then never have that worry again.
Oh, so I should choose not to exercise my rights that the cops swore to protect for fear of retribution by the cops who swore to protect that right. Am I understanding that right?
Well, maybe.
That's the whole point, dude. Billy, that's the whole point. All you just did was prove my point 1,000%. No, you're missing it.
No, I think you would rather go film a cop and put your family in danger. Potential danger is a better word.
You're admitting that cops are dangerous, and you're admitting that police are dangerous, and the act of exercising the rights they swore to protect could put me in danger.
100%.
But you agree with you began this conversation by saying I'm the bad guy for not respecting these guys and showing them some type of respect, and then at the end of this conversation you're saying you need to not exercise the rights they swore to protect because they're dangerous people and then you're putting your family in danger. So are they the good guys or the bad guys? Which is it?
No. In your situation, when you poke cops and you're doing all that stuff.
Poke cops.
Right? And, I say stuff loosely. Okay.
Recording is the first law in the books.
You say, oh, they're stalking your wife.
Right.
But why? But why do you have to go that way? Why can't you just go to a park with your family and live your life? Why do you have
because they came to my neighborhood. I was trying to live my life. And they impeded me in my own neighborhood 4 different times in one night. What are you talking about? They broke like 1 federal law and 3 state laws against me. And again, I'm the issue here, not them. Not the lawbreakers, not the issue in your eyes. I'm the issue because I turned on my camera. Listen to what you're saying, dude.
But I think in some aspect, maybe. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
I think in some form or fashion, whether legality or not, I think you're the issue.
I'm the issue for exercising my rights.
It would never come up to you if you weren't there.
I would never go up to them if they weren't there. What are you talking about? It's my neighborhood. So when the cops come to your neighborhood, you need to cower in fear inside your house. Do not exercise any of the rights they swore to protect because they're dangerous and they're heroes at the same time. You can't have it both ways, dude. I'm sorry.
I walk up to them with a bottle.
And I wasn't near any of the cops.
If they were in my neighborhood when I was.
I'm sorry. Are you talking to me?
Go ahead.
No, were you talking to me or a family member?
Go ahead. You can finish your thought.
No, go ahead. I already forgot. Go ahead.
No, I was talking to you. That's okay. Go ahead. Most of the time, when cops came to my neighborhood before I moved abroad, and they were in the neighborhood, right? Whether it was in Phoenix or in Chicago, whatever, I'd go with a bottle of water and say, "Hey, I know you guys work hard. Here's a bottle of water." Right?
Yeah, that's what all bootlickers do.
Use the bathroom, something like that. Oh, that's how. Or just being a kind person because.
Dude,
know that their job is tough.
So if cops set up illegal checkpoints, so when cops set up illegal checkpoints in your neighborhood, you should give them bottles of water instead of being upset that they're breaking the law.
Or you could just follow directions and go on your merry way.
What directions, dude? They told me to go to the media staging area.
That's a hard.
And I did that, and they wouldn't even, and they stopped me before I could even get there because the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. I mean, you give police so much more credibility. What? Did you not watch the video?
Nothing. I watched the one where you were got pulled over. I didn't watch the part 2 of it. I wasn't in the mood for that after that.
What, the sinkhole video?
But part one was like, yeah.
Part 1 is the whole thing. I left my house. The corporal who saw me leave my...
Part 2 is...
What?
Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up real quick. I'll tell you what it says.
That's cool. I'll be right back.
All right, cool.
Hey, Billy, can you hear me?
Yeah, totally.
So, timeline. I went home. They pulled me over. I told them my address. That wasn't good enough for them, and they started all that shit about, we're going to run your tag, and you're doing things the hard way. I took my car home. I grabbed my wife's bicycle because I didn't want to ID myself, and they can't ID me when I'm on my bicycle. I intentionally grabbed my bicycle instead of my car. I went down to where the looking for the media staging area. 2 cops told me to go around to the other side where it was within 50 yards of the edge of the sinkhole, an active sinkhole, mind you, where the two cops stopped me, Corporal Aiken and Corporal Kemping, was over a mile away from the sinkhole, and they were letting media within 50 yards. So, and I was wearing my press pass. So if they let that media in, by law, they have to let me in. Otherwise, they're discriminating. The judge said I'm not media. The cops said I'm not media. A lot of Facebook people say I'm not media, but everybody is media under the First Amendment, and the government doesn't like it. So it's again, all the issues came about because the cops and the judge are ignorant of the Constitution and the law that they swore to uphold. And I'm the bad guy because I'm talking about it. Is basically what happens. Go ahead.
So, this is where another, like, so these people that, lawyers, judges, have gone to law school and had thousands of hours of applicational law, yet your knowledge surpasses them. Is that right?
Well, we're talking about a traffic court judge who ruled on her own jurisdiction. There's a court case. Go listen to the court case.
I might. I'm curious. You got me perked.
It's like part 6. It's like part 6. I had to go to 3 or 4 different judges. What now?
Okay. I'm getting the eye from the wife because we got.
Okay, listen, one last thing, Billy, and I appreciate you coming on, dude. You actually have some balls. I'll give you credit for that. I brought the press pass into the courtroom. I showed the judge. The judge hands it back to me and says, well, I guess you think this is real. So right there, that tells you the judge has no clue what the First Amendment is. And that's all on record. So thank you, dude, for doing the debate. I do have a podcast. I don't put any effort into it. It's called Operation Midnight Jackal. If you ever want to come on there and talk, and I can learn you some more, we can go from there.
Now, I'm going to say this.
Go ahead.
Now, this was a private conversation, correct?
No, we're live.
You're live? You didn't even ask for my consent.
Brother, I showed you that we were live as soon as the call started. I told you we were going to be live on Facebook. I don't know how much more consent there you could need. And what is the issue? We didn't have nothing bad said, nothing disparaging. I told you it was going to be live. There's nothing wrong going on.
I don't see any. I'll look for it. If it's not there, I'll talk to you.
I also told you, remember you said you wanted to see my facial expressions. I said, go watch me live. We're live.
All right. Well, I think it was a good conversation.
It was a good conversation, man, and I appreciate it, and I'm thanking you. And I know you don't think I'm as bad as a guy as you did this morning.
No, not at all. I think you're all right.
All right, brother. All right, man. Thanks again. You want to get any last words in?
No, we're good.
All right, sir. Thanks again. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Have a good one. There you go, guys. Lot of back and forth on Facebook, name calling, and I was trying to egg him on and getting him to debate. So leave in the comments below. What'd you think? Who won that debate? It sounded to me like he just kept saying, yeah, they're breaking the law, and yeah, they swore to uphold your right to record, but just don't, okay? Just don't. Their jobs are hard, all the cliches. Yeah, the whole consent thing. Told him it was going to be live. I mean, I don't know how many different ways I could say we're live. Anyway, I guess my ideas are radical in this day and age because the idea that you're just a free person and that you can move up and down the road you pay for without being harassed and impeded is a radical idea in 2021 America. But I believe the founders decided to raise arms over like a 2% tax or something. All right, it's late, man. I wanted to ask him why he moved to Czechoslovakia, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anybody else there's another guy, Mike Frank. You know who you are, dude. Your boy Billy, who's defending you all day. He had the balls to come on, and it went fairly well. Even though I think he realizes the error of his ways when he starts understanding that who the servants are, who the victims are, who the victimless laws are, etc., etc., etc. Thanks, Wolfie. I appreciate that. All right, guys, it's late. I'm not going to go read all the comments. Hit the thumbs up before you and I leave, and I hope that was a good little thingy majigger badoodle. It was good, right? Bitch better have my money. Bitch better have my money. Bitch better have my money. All right. Thank you, everyone. Billy Blows the Blue. That's a new channel. All right, check it out. Bitch better have my money. Bitch better have my money. All right. I'm going to go make a sandwich or something. That was exhausting. You guys have a good day. Let's try this fist bump thing again. It's hard to time it. And peace.